Welcome to the Activating a MyAssistant Prebuilt Task training tutorial. This tutorial will cover how to activate prebuilt tasks in the MyAssistant software. The goal of this tutorial is to learn to activate tasks to monitor your business and send specific information to the appropriate parties. In doing this, we will learn to customize conditions to meet your specific needs, set tasks to run on a schedule, as well as send notifications to those who need them. Before we begin, please note that activating tasks can only be done from a MyAssistant Designer activation. Also, note that you can stop or replay any portion of this video for further review. In order to watch this video in the best quality possible, we recommend watching in full screen view, as well as changing the video quality to HD by clicking on the gear icon and selecting HD. Now that we've reviewed what this tutorial will cover, let's jump in the software and get started. We are now in the MyAssistant Designer application of the MyAssistant software. And before we get started, it's important to understand what a task is and does. So a task defines the action that MyAssistant will take. Within Task Setup, you define what MyAssistant will look for in the Sage 300 database, who MyAssistant will send that information to, and what information MyAssistant will send. The next step is finding which task we're going to activate. MyAssistant comes with a report that provides you a list of all tasks available. To access that report, click the Reports tab in the ribbon area, and on the far left of the Reports ribbon, click Tasks, and the Edit Parameter Values opens. I would like to see all tasks, so I will click All and OK. And the Task List report opens. This is a 6-page report, in my case, of all tasks in the software. This is a list of both pre-built tasks as well as any tasks that I created on my own. This report is sorted by category and then subcategory, so browse through this report to find a list of all available tasks and see which one best meets your needs. The task I am looking to activate is titled AR Invoices Older Than a Specified Number of Days, and I know that that is in the AR and Billing category and in Receivables Management as a subcategory, so I'll look down the list, and here it is. When you've found the task that you would like to activate, make a note of the name and close the report viewer and search for that task in the list in the main application. So I will expand category AR and Billing and look down the list for the task AR Invoices Older Than a Specified Number of Days. When I select my task, I will come up to the ribbon area, click on the Home tab, and click Activate, and the Activate Task window opens. The first step is Customize Condition. A condition tells MyAssistant what to look through and what to look for in the Sage 300 database. In this step, we see the name of the condition that is being used. It's here in bold. AR Open Invoices Older Than a Specified Number of Days, including invoices with unbilled retainage. The number of days is currently specified as 30, as we see here. So if this condition were run now, MyAssistant would look through AR Open Invoices for open invoices older than 30 days. This number you can change by clicking the up or down arrows, so I'll make this number 35. When I'm satisfied with this step, I will click Next and move to the Schedule step. Every task in the MyAssistant software is set to run on demand by default. This means that when you want to run and send notifications for the task, you need to open the MyAssistant application, select the task, and click Run and Send in the ribbon. In addition to running tasks on demand, you can set tasks to run on one or multiple schedules. So in the Run Task area, if you click on a schedule, we now have access to all the settings around adding schedules. The default schedule is run at 12 a.m. every day, but I would like to see this task every Tuesday right when I come in the office. So I will change this task to run weekly by selecting Weekly, select Tuesday, and I will change the time to 6 a.m. so this is sitting in my inbox when I get in the office. This drop-down menu here shows you all schedules that are set for this task. Right now we only have one schedule, so this task will run at 6 a.m. every Tuesday of every week. When my schedule is set, I will click Next and move to the email step. The email step is where we determine who will receive the information returned from MyAssistant and what information they will receive. First, I'm going to show you what I'm trying to create. So what we're looking at now is the finished product of task setup. The information in this list was returned from the Sage 300 database when the MyAssistant condition was run. And we see a brief email message as well as some basic formatting changes made to the notification table. Now that we see what the finished product looks like, we will return to task setup and recreate this. So first step is who it's going to send to. I'm just going to send this to my inbox. And then I will enter that brief email body that we saw. And then we will customize the notification table. The columns in this table are what you will receive in the email message and also what you will see in the main app of MyAssistant when you expand the notification table for this task. Pre-built tasks come with columns already inserted, and we can add or remove columns from here. If you look at the right side of the window, you see a list of all records and fields that we have access to for this task. To add a column to the notification table, expand the record and select the field you would like to add. For example, I will select Job and click and drag Job into the notification table. To remove a field from the notification table, click and drag that field out of the notification table area. In addition to adding and removing columns, we also have the ability to edit them. Click on the column you wish to edit. For my example, I'm clicking Invoice Amount, and I want to see a sum for all of the invoice amount columns. So I'll select the column, come up to the Home ribbon, and click the Sum button. And note that the sum was now added to this column. I also want this to show up as a dollar amount, so I will click the dollar sign, and it adds a dollar sign. You can change the font size, left justify, right justify, or center the text. You can change the color of the text. I will change it to red, etc. If this task were to be run and sent now, I would receive the email in my inbox, I would see this email body, and I would see this notification table. When you are satisfied with the settings in this step, click Next, and we move to the Additional Information step. Arrange notifications by and additional reports and inquiries are both advanced topics that will be covered in a separate tutorial. You do not need to change or specify these settings for tasks to run. So for now, I will leave the default settings and click Next and move to the Notification Options step. The first setting is Send Notifications In. This determines if you want notifications for this task sent in their own email message, or if you want them grouped with other notification tables and sent in one daily email. If you use the drop-down list, you see a separate email for this task. This means that when you run and send this task, or when this task is run and sent on a schedule, the email will be immediately sent that contains the notification table, and it will only contain the notification table for this task. This email is an example of having selected Send a separate email for this task. This email contained one notification table with information from one task. If we select Daily Summary Email, then MyAssistant will compile all notification tables set to send in a daily summary email and send them in one email message at the time of day you specify. This email is an example of a daily summary email. If you look in the upper left corner of the email message, it says Daily Summary, and then it has a list of the 3 tasks we have notifications for and that are included in this message. So if we scroll down the email, we see the task Vendors with Open Invoices totaling above threshold. If we continue, we see Jobs over budget. And finally, we see Cost codes over budget. All 3 of these tasks were run at some point throughout the day. And when it was time for the daily summary email to be sent, all 3 of these tables were combined in one email message and sent as specified. The next option is creating open notifications. Create open notifications is checked by default, and this is more of an advanced setting, so we recommend leaving this checked for now. The open item notification frequency determines if you receive each notification in an email message one time or every time that notification meets the condition. For this example, I will receive a full list of AR invoices older than 35 days. If I were to select Notify Once for my example of AR invoices older than 35 days, I would only receive each AR invoice that was overdue the first time it met the condition. I would never again receive that invoice in an email message. If I select Notify each time the task is run, I will receive an invoice in a notification email message every single time that invoice meets the condition. When you are satisfied with the settings for this step, click Finish, and the Activate Task window closes. When this window closes, we are asked if we would like to run and send notifications for the task now. I will click Yes, and in the bottom left corner of the screen you can see that MyAssistant is running one task. When the task runs successfully, MyAssistant will show you a message that tells you which task just ran and how many notifications were returned. For this example, it says the task AR invoices older than a specified number of days ran successfully and 34 AR statuses met the condition. So I will click OK, and the notifications for this task are loaded in the main application. From here, I can scroll down the list of notifications returned and work with notifications accordingly, or I can move to my inbox and look at the email that was just sent for this task. We have now stepped through the entire tutorial of activating a pre-built task in the MyAssistant software.